Part 24. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 239. Ding. Yang Yu obtained the Self-Suggestion Move Learning Machine X2, the Shadow Clone Move Learning Machine X2. Hua 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 hua. The small amount of money rolled away like running water and was just deducted from Yang Yu's card. Heartache beyond measure. However, the effort is definitely worth it. Yang Yu is going to let the little dream demon learn the two tricks of auto-suggestion and shadow clone at the same time. Since the effect will be wonderful after the little dream demon learns the shadow clone, how could Yang Yu not do it for the Salted Fish King too? Whether you are using surfing or salted fish thrust, you will feel the crushing feeling of thousands of troops coming. Don't be too scary. But if you want to train the Salted Fish King, you have to go to the edge of the coast of Mingzu City and wait until you have free time to try it. The rest of the auto-suggestion learning machine is naturally for Day to learn. Huh, Lao Yang, Lao Wen, I'm back. Hong Kong walked to the move learning machine from another direction in the hall at this time. How's it going? Did you get the badge? Yang Yu grinned. Of course, dang dang dang. Hong Kong showed off his intermediate trainer badge in his hand, and then came forward. Do you have any favorite moves you like? Hong Kong first looked at Wenren Fang Chen's, and then at Yang Yu's, with some surprise on his face. Both of them bought the same thing? Shadow Clone, and Auto-Suggestion. Wenren Fang Chen dragged Hong Kong aside and whispered something in Hong Kong's ear. He only saw Hong Kong's eyes getting brighter and brighter. Give me one too. Hong Kong immediately took out his wallet. This is probably the nature of human beings. Let's go. The area where the elf eggs are sold is upstairs. Let's go and take a look first. The Elf Alliance College branch here in the Magic City is many times more advanced than the branch near our school. There is basically nothing to say about the exchange students. In short, during this period, everyone is here to study with the students from Jiaotong University, and then use the temporary exchange card to go to the training venue. Of course, it doesn't matter even if you lose ugly in the elf battle. Jiaotong University is, after all, one of the top 10 elf universities in the country. Vice President, don't worry, we are in a good mood, Zhang Yuxuan replied immediately, and Nidana beside her couldn't help but stick out her tongue. I was abused every time in the training class. Can I have a bad mentality? Yes, that's right, our mentality is already super invincible, another girl agreed. Soon, the rest of the people responded one after another, casting their eyes in someone's direction. Please, can you please stop looking at me when you are in a good mood? Yang Yu had a toothache just looking at him. No, everyone said in unison. Kang Henan laughed 3 times, ha ha ha, okay, since everyone said so, I'm relieved. You still have to pay attention to safety here. Report the situation to me around 9 o'clock in the evening. Other things no more, let's disband. Yang Yu, are you going to the training ground to teach the little dream monster how to make shadow clones? I will take my Yongjira there with you, Wenren Fang Chen said. Then I may have to separate from you first, and the sea spiny dragon will still have to train in the swimming pool. Hong Kong shrugged. Quack, Kodak tilted his head. I heard that. Let's go together, little dream demon, we should go training. Yang Yu held the shadow clone's move learning machine tightly in his hand, stretched out his hand and poked it lazily on his head and poked it in Yang Yu's hair. Little guy drawing circles. Hey. The little dream demon got up and rubbed his eyes. After a while, he immediately became energetic. The little dream monster is starting to get stronger. As expected, it's a move learning machine produced by the Magic City Elf Normal University. I really don't know what it's about unless I take a look. Yang Yu smiled and read the description of the shadow clone. It's simple. First, increase the speed of the little dream monster. Combined with the ghost type afterimage that is unique to the dream monster, it shouldn't be difficult to get started. This is the first formal training for beginners of moves like Little Dream Demon. Yang Yu's requirements are not high. Two Little Dream Demons appear in front of him at the same time. This is the lowest level requirement. The Little Dream Demon still had a very happy look on his face, and he flew quickly in front of Yang Yu, exuding the light of a ghost, and began to form an afterimage bit by bit. However, the afterimage was just an afterimage, far away from the clone. The effect is still a little worse. Little Dream Demon, hurry up, go faster. Move quickly between these two boards. Yang Yu simply took two boards to serve as markers in the field. The effect Yang Yu wanted was to see two little dream monsters at the top of the two boards at the same time. One of them was real, and the other one, it's the shadow illusion created by the Little Dream Demon. If during the elf battle, the shadow illusion created can confuse the opponent's elf, and at the same time, use the mischievous faces that the incubus is good at, arousing fear or angering the opponent, disrupting the opponent's rhythm. Especially when the Little Dream monster makes a move, the illusion effect of the shadow clone also shows the same move. In this way, in the eyes of the opponent, if it cannot be cracked, unless they try their best to use large-scale AoE moves. For the Little Dream Demon, it is equivalent to consuming the least amount of his own physical strength but causing the opponent's elf to fall into a state of exhaustion in advance. After all, this is just an ordinary shadow clone move, but it deceives the opponent's AoE trick. In this way, the shadow clone move has a strong practical significance. After the Little Dream Demon memorized the effect of the shadow clone in the move learning machine, of course she understood why Yang Yu wanted to make it speed up, because there will be more shadow illusions of Little Dream monsters that come out to scare people. If one isn't enough, get two. If two isn't enough, get four. This is just like when in the Pearl Forest, the Little Dream monsters act together with their friends, scaring people together. The effect is very good. But now, the true identity of all shadows is the Little Dream Demon himself. Come on, Little Dream Monster. Yang Yu stared at the two training boards intently, looking forward to the Little Dream Demon's good training performance. The Little Dream Demon happily responded a few times, her big eyes turned slyly twice, and the corners of her mouth curved slightly, but soon, it was hidden by it. Yang Yu took a look at the training time. This was the Little Dream Demon's first training, but the Little Dream Demon didn't seem to feel tired. Little Dream Demon, stop and take a rest first. Yang Yu looked at the Little Dream Demon that was still flying back and forth in front of him and gave the order. However, the little guy flying in front of me seemed to have stopped. A shadow appeared. Yang Yu's eyes lit up, but in the next second, a childlike cry came from the left ear. Whoa! Yang Yu suddenly felt horrified, and the hair on his whole body stood up. Why, how could there be crying here? When Yang Yu's head mechanically turned to the left, a wide-open black mouth suddenly swallowed it. Yang Yu. Yang Yu was horrified and couldn't help but close his eyes. But the next second, Yang Yu felt a familiar gentle tapping on his face. Ying ying ying. This familiar voice. The little guy who appeared in front of me, with his eyes narrowed and a smile on his face, was just a little dream monster. Etc. Suddenly, an idea suddenly appeared in Yang Yu's mind. The Little Dream Demon just appeared above the training board, were two shadows, not one? The real body, came to him to play pranks? Yang Yu never expected that he would be the first to be hit by all the scenarios he had planned in his mind to deal with his opponents. Yang Yu looked dumbfounded at the Little Dream Demon with a harmless smile on his face. This little guy seemed to have done nothing just now, and he was still holding his arm and acting coquettishly. Bai Yin is bound to have results. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 240. Yang Yu, what's wrong with your legs? Why are they shaking when you walk? Wenren Fang Chen had deep doubts on his happy face. Aren't you here to train the little dream demon to learn shadow clones? How come the little dream demon on Yang Yu's head doesn't look tired at all, but Yang Yu's legs are so tired that they feel weak? Could it be that it was Yang Yu who learned how to create shadow clones, not the dream demon? Wenren Fang Chen was a little funny. The smile on Yang Yu's face was a little forced. What could he say? Could it be that he told Fang Chen, a well-known person, that he had been taught the shadow clone trick by the dream demon? Lao Wen, how is your young Zhila's learning of shadow clones? Yang Yu found a topic to put aside this rather embarrassing situation. It's time to get started. Now two shadows can appear at the same time. I found that Yang Jira is very talented in learning such moves. Wenren Fang Chen glanced at Yang Jira beside him with a smile. Yang Jira raised his spoon high, and he was very happy to be praised by his master. The expression on his face was very happy. Yang Yu's eyes lit up. My little dream demon can also appear two shadows at the same time. As for more shadows to appear, I have to continue training. Congratulations. Let's go to the swimming pool to find Hong Kong. I don't know how Sea Spiny Dragon is doing with his studies, Yang Yu said with a smile. The little dream demon raised her little hands high. Set off, set off. Sea Thorn Dragon, the key point of shadow clone is. Quack quack quack. Hong Kong suddenly had a headache. The training grounds in the swimming pool were completely open to the public. He arrived late and didn't prepare any swimming props, so he only had a small corner at the edge of the swimming pool for training. Plus this duck can't swim. Well, Kodak is still running around crazily and not returning to the pokeball. Although it has attracted the attention of many other students, but Hong Kong wants to train the Sea Thorn Dragon well. If Sea Spiny Dragon wants to master the shadow clone in the water, it has to overcome the resistance in the water. It is best to move at high speed between two close points. However, there are also students training water-based moves around, so the training period will be affected. Quay. When the duck was running around the field in a panic on its flippers, it suddenly heard a sound that made it feel scared for some reason. When the duck held its head and raised its head, seeing the harmless smile of that dream monster. Quack quack quack. The Kodak duck felt like three were stamped on his head, and his flippers seemed to be full of horsepower, and he suddenly started galloping on the ground. Yang Yu, Wenren Fang Chen, why are you here? Hong Kong was a little surprised. We have finished practicing, so we came to find you, Yang Yu said with a smile. So fast, Hong Kong couldn't help being shocked. What's so fast? It's been almost 2 hours, how is the situation here? Has the Sea Thorn Dragon mastered the shadow clone? Lao Wen's elf and I have basically started, Yang Yu said. Both Yang Jira and Dream Demon have already started. Hong Kong's heart trembled. Yang Yu and Wenren Fangchen's elf learned so quickly, but there was still no movement from the Sea Spiny Dragon on his side. It is not an easy task to overcome resistance in the water. If the Sea Spiny Dragon can complete the introduction of shadow clones on the water, even if a shadow appears, that will be a huge progress. At this moment, there was a rapid flapping sound behind him. Card duck, be careful, Wenren Fangchen's eyelids suddenly twitched. In front of him, the cable duck running croaking on the edge of the pool with its webbed feet, slipped away. What? Hong Kong's eyes narrowed and he immediately looked at the duck behind him. Quack. Plop. The duck has entered the water. Hong Kong couldn't help but feel nervous. What would happen if a duck that couldn't swim stepped on the air and entered the water? This is just like a human being. If a landlubber enters the water, it will only struggle desperately and cannot swim at all. Sea Spiny Dragon, go help push the duck over. Hong Kong ran towards the direction where KK Duck fell into the water. At the same time, the Sea Spiny Dragon in the water also quickly moved towards the direction of KK Duck. However, just when Hong Kong thought that Sea Spiny Dragon could catch the duck, an incredible scene happened. The sea spiny dragon passed directly through the duck's position. What was that just now? Didn't the sea spiny dragon have already encountered the Kodak? Yang Yu rubbed his eyes and felt that a dazzling scene appeared in front of him. The Kodak duck is over there. When Renfang Chen pointed in a further direction, the Kodak duck is heading away from the edge of the pool. No, Kami turtle, you go and help too. Kami Kami. The Kami turtle quickly entered the water and joined forces with the sea spiny dragon to rescue the duck that had entered the water. When the duck, which was croaking in the water and flapping its hands with its webbed feet, was rescued by Kami turtles and sea spiny dragons and brought them to the shore. Quack quack quack. Koda duck, holding his head and almost crying, ran towards Hong Kong. Incredibly, a whole row of shadows appeared. Shadow clone, Yang Yu and Wen Renfang Chen took a breath of cold air. The eyes of the little dream demon also revealed full of incredulity. It had just mastered the skills of 2 shadows, but the duck in front of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Including the main body, 5 appeared. This also means, there are 4 shadow clones of Kodak. More than Yang Yu's little dream demon and Wenren Fangchen's Yang Jira. Now, here comes the question. Hong Kong was dumbfounded. Which Kodak should he hug? First from the left, second from the left, middle, or first from the right, second from the right? Fortunately, when Hong Kong squatted down and opened his arms, the middle duck jumped up on its own. At the same time, the shadows of the remaining 4 ducks disappeared immediately. Quack quack quack. After the frightened Kodak duck felt the familiar warm embrace, his breathing finally calmed down a little bit. Quaye. Kodak duck blinked and held his head. Why am I here? Gwagwagwa, so shy. Kodakya's face started to turn red again. Hong Kong, are you teaching the shadow clone of the sea thorn dragon or the shadow clone of the Kodak duck? Yang Yu was shocked. He never expected that Hong Kong, a Kodak duck, would understand the moves so well. The horror. 4 shadows, and almost no difference can be seen. This is incredible. Of course I'm teaching sea spiny dragon, I'm not teaching duckling. Hong Kong himself felt a little confused. If it weren't for the moist pool water on his body, he wouldn't have even come back to his senses. Fang Chen was speechless, and then slowly uttered 4 words, it's awesome. Hong Kong's eyes lit up and he quickly placed the Kodak in his arms firmly on the ground. Kaduk, use the move, shadow clone. 1 second. 2 seconds. 3 seconds. Kodak duck tilted his head. The 3 stupid hairs on the head slowly made 3 question marks. Quaye. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 241. Hong Kong's whole body was floating when he walked, which was even more exaggerated than Yang Yu's legs. He seemed to be flying. His head was full of question marks. He had never thought about teaching Shadow Clone to Kodakya. When did this guy learn it? However, Kodakya, who had no idea what was going on, held his head and followed Hong Kong at a very rhythmic pace, his dull eyes full of confusion. I didn't expect that the one who learned the fastest was the Kodak duck. When Renfang Chen was a little speechless. The 3 elves of them learned together. To be honest, they can still compare a little bit, but the accident happened so suddenly. Without any precautions. It should be that falling into the water caused Kodakya to concentrate so much, and then he mastered it accidentally. Yang Yu's mouth also tilted. After all, then falling into the water is actually beneficial. Why? After working hard all afternoon, the result was not as good as that of Kodak duck, who was startled when he entered the water and was struck by iron. Excuse me, Kodak is awesome. Yang Yu waved his hand. The little dream monster on Yang Yu's head pouted. When he saw that timid yellow duck could actually use his shadow clones to create 4 additional shadow illusions, he seemed to be outclassed by others. A little moody. A bit strange. Little hands began to draw circles on Yang Yu's hair. Yang Yu felt the emotions of the little guy on his head. If he felt a little frustrated or tired, the little dream demon would vent his emotions in this way. Little dream demon has been very good today. Let's continue training tomorrow and try to surpass the duck. Okay. Yang Yu felt an indescribable mood at this time, a sense of responsibility. It was like taking care of his own children in kindergarten. Same. If Kodakya and Yangzhila are the kindergarten classmates of Little Dream Demon, Yangzhila is slightly bigger and belongs to the older category. If 3 friends learn shadow clones at the same time, their progress will naturally be different. Since they are different, there will be competition between them. Although Yangzhila may not necessarily have such a fighting spirit, since the Little Dream Demon has it and has shown it, Yang Yu has the obligation to guide the Little Dream Demon's fighting spirit in a positive direction. When the Little Dream Demon scared Kodak Duck before, Kodak Duck seemed to be afraid of the Little Dream Demon, and Kodak Duck's behavior in the swimming pool must be related to the Little Dream Demon, so in order to avoid the Little Dream Demon again. Go bully Kodak. Yang Yu felt that he had to talk to the Little Dream Demon about this matter. After all, Kodak Duck's dull head contains a lot of energy. When the time comes, he is afraid that the Little Dream Demon can't bully Kodak Duck and end up crying. Hey! The Little Dream Demon nodded obediently, but there was still a reluctance to admit defeat in his eyes. However, the Little Dream Demon felt a little uncomfortable when she saw the duck holding its head dumbly below. It didn't seem to care at all. Yang Yu brought the little guy on his head into his arms and said in a very patient tone, "Little Dream Demon, don't underestimate Hong Kong's duck." Huh? The Little Dream Demon raised his head, his eyes full of why. Quay. Kodak Duck also raised his head while holding his head. It probably doesn't quite understand what it means to look down upon it. What does it have to do with others looking down upon it? What's wrong, Yang Yu? Why did you suddenly mention the duck? Hong Kong was a little curious. He also had a good impression of Yang Yu's little ghost dream monster. After all, this little guy looked weird. Looks very cute. Our little dream monster is not convinced by your reachable duck. He has mastered the shadow clone trick, but there are only 2 shadow illusions, which is half less than the 4 reached by the reachable duck. He is not happy, Yang. Yu smiled and touched the little dream monster's big head, but the little guy was obviously resisting and unhappy, and turned his head away, not wanting to be touched by him. Ha ha ha, that's it, Hong Kong smiled and shook his head, our Kodak Duck can't compare to you. Little guy. Listening to Hong Kong's compliment, the Little Dream Demon's eyes lit up slightly, and then she pouted in the direction of Yang Yu, a little arrogant. Little Dream Demon, don't underestimate any little elf. Although Kodak looks like this, once it shows its true strength, the power of its super type moves is still very impressive, Yang Yuyong said to the Little Dream Demon very seriously. The Little Dream Demon still didn't believe it, looking at this little elf holding his head and knowing nothing, full of doubts. You will have the opportunity to see it. In the elf battles in the past few days, you will see the performance of Kodak. Moreover, you must also show your strength when the time comes, and scare the elves on the opposite side. Yang Yu knew that it would be useless for him to talk about something superficially like this. After he finished speaking, he asked the Little Dream Demon to see with his own eyes. In the Pearl Forest, why did the Little Dream Demon's parents want the Little Dream Demon to follow Yang Yu out? In addition to Yang Yu's strength, more than that, they still wanted to see this elven world. The world is too big and there are too many incredible things. When it comes to the elf that scares other people, the Little Dream Demon's mood immediately becomes high, and even the red light in his eyes becomes a little brighter. Yang Yu, it's not good to teach the Little Dream monster at such a young age. Wenren Fangchen coughed lightly and said in a very elderly manner. Then I have to protect my Kodak duck, you can't let your little dream monster scare my Kodak duck. Hong Kong also stood beside the Kodak duck repeatedly, trying to block the little dream demon. Sight. Come on, it's not like you don't know that the little dream demon itself feeds on fear, and the more fear energy there is, the faster the little dream demon will grow. Yang Yu rolled his eyes. As a member of 403 Good Brother, should you dedicate yourself to providing a little fear energy for the little dream monster? The little dream demon nodded her head next to Yang Yu in agreement. Shut up and say something humane. Beware of fire, theft, and roommates, especially Yang Yu. There was an unwritten rule before that you were not allowed to summon the salted fish king in the dormitory. Do you have to add another rule now? Wenren Fangchen joked. Must, definitely, Hong Kong's eyes widened. Our little Menjao is a Model 3 good student. He loves learning and labor. He is good at uniting his classmates and reaching a consensus with other students. Are you misunderstanding the word consensus? I still owe 150 monthly tickets. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 242. 3 bottles of moo milk and a box of high-quality energy cubes. Yang Yu came to the Elf Alliance College branch early the next morning to receive the privileged resources of the Black Card. It was the time for Little Dream Demon and Little Fish to grow up. Since there was such a convenience with many benefits, Yang Yu would certainly not miss it. But when he saw the words 9,996 elf coins consumed, he felt a little uncomfortable, as if something was missing. Another kin of Bingkuo Luo. I don't want the 3 UN one, but I want the 4 UN one. Yang Yuyi's request was true. Of course the lady working at the counter in the Elf Alliance knew that this was a kind of obsessive-compulsive disorder. The drinks placed next to the counter were just for filling. Comfortable, comfortable. 4 elf coins, you can only buy a bottle of drink in the Elf Alliance, but Yang Yu felt that the bottle of Bingkuo Luo in his hand was a bit unusual. After all, it cost 4 UN. The little dream demon looked at Yang Yu's hair and put bottle after bottle of moo milk into the reusable bag. Her eyes were wide open and she even wanted to drink it now. Don't drink too much. Don't forget that your stomach was bulging after drinking that night. Yang Yu stretched out his hand and waved it in front of the little dream demon's eyes. The little dream demon stretched out her little hands to scratch in dissatisfaction. This greedy little guy. A ghost-type dream monster, it looks like it has just been conquered. The ghost-type's ability aura is not very strong. It doesn't look like anything special. It's just ordinary. But it has a very close relationship with the dream demon. If it was just captured, it should have been taken from the Pearl Forest, right? I remember that the Dream Demon clan lived in the Pearl. In the forest. Just being able to bring the little Dream Demon out, there is no doubt about its own strength. The identity registered with the Elf Alliance is Yang Yu. An old man sitting in the lobby of the VIP room was looking at the glass mirror in front of him. On the other end of the mirror was a suction cup devil. The suction cup devil adjusted the direction of the glass so that the old man could see Yang Yu's face. Figure. Senior trainer, is it Gyarados? This old man is the Zi Lao from the headquarters of the Magic City Elf Alliance, Majinzi, and the suction cup golem in front of him is one of his super-powered elves. Hangcheng Elf University of Electronic Science and Technology, that old man she's talk about his worthless son-in-law is the president of that university, and he is an exchange student at Jiaotong University, it seems like that. If Yang Yu were here, he would definitely be very surprised, because the old man's few words revealed most of his current strength. But what is his second elf? To be certified as a senior trainer, there should be another elf. Zi Lao's deep pupils shone with the light of wise thinking. Soon, a rather teasing smile appeared on Zi Lao's face. I really want to see what that stinky old Shitu would think if he knew that kid had a Gyarados, and why he said he would kill him without teaching, Really, he's so old, this stinky guy is shameless. Come out, De Hong, let's go to Jiaotong University for a walk. Zi Lao put away the suction cup golem, and at the same time, there was an elf with a flaming wooden stick in his hand, the demon fire red fox. You. The red and purple light flashed away, and then the seat was empty, as if no one had been there at all. Damn it, bastard Jin Xiaodong actually let such a young and promising trainer come to the Magic City without even telling me in advance. Armored Bird, that's it for now, thank you for your hard work. Hold head high. Come out, Meng Meng Eclipse. An elf floating in pink and purple appeared in the forest. At first glance, it looked fat and cute, but if a trainer familiar with Meng Meng Eclipse saw it, his face must have changed drastically. There seemed to be a high-spirited, fart sound, in the pearl forest. Then, an angry voice spewed out from the old man's mouth like fragrant breath. Jin Xiaodong. You were actually poisoning me in your dream. Shi Dingmo's face turned livid when he saw Meng Menzi's pink body turn purple. If Shi Dingmo's words were heard by Principal Jin Xiaodong would definitely cry out that he was wronged. Anyone whose father-in-law could not sleep well in the middle of the night and came directly from the Devil City would have nightmares, right? Come back, Meng Meng Eclipse, Armored Bird, let's continue, get out of this ghost place quickly. Hold head high. When the Armored Bird came out, he saw the strange colored gas floating in the forest, and his face was extremely frightened. It was like he had seen the scene many times. But it's still scary every time I see it. Meng Meng Eclipse has a nightmare. Hold head high. The wings of the Armored Bird were fully powered, and it was much faster than before. One person and one bird flew towards the Magic City as quickly as if they were escaping from the forest. Little Dream Demon, come on, go faster, I believe you can do it. During the daily training time, Yang Yu made full use of the venue and maximized the venue utilization. The Little Dream Demon can already cast two shadows at the same time very easily, and ensure that the shadow illusion can have a confusing effect, but it still requires a lot of training to divide the two shadows into four. At this time, 4 wooden boards were arranged on the field, and the Little Dream Demon was training between these 4 wooden boards, speeding up his speed to form more shadow illusions, and using the unique ghost aura of the ghost system to give the shadow illusion a unique and eerie feeling, so as to achieve the effect of being fake and real. There are 3 have appeared, will the 4th one appear at the same time? Little Dream Demon, work harder, you are just one shadow away from scaring other people's elf into tears. Yang Yu held his hand at the side. He clenched his fists and looked at the Little Dream Demon clenching his teeth. He couldn't help but sweat. Hey! When the light of the will-o'-the-wisp flashed brightly on the Little Dream Demon's hair, at this critical moment, 4 shadow illusions appeared in front of him at the same time, including the Little Dream Demon's body, that is, there were 5 of them. The Little Dream Demon looked at the 4 shadow illusions formed by himself, as if he had achieved a great achievement, and quickly flew in front of Yang Yu, hoping to get Yang Yu's thumb and the big red flower. Well done. Yang Yu gently tapped the Little Dream Demon's head with his index finger. This was undoubtedly the best reward for the Little Dream Demon. Drink some moo milk. Yang Yu had already prepared moo milk for the Little Dream Demon to replenish his strength. However, the excited Little Dream Demon soon showed sleepiness on his face. During the training process, the energy of the ghost system was consumed, which was a bit too much for it. Shall we go to the recovery center for ghost elves in the Elf Alliance? Yang Yu thought about it, gently hugged the Little Dream Demon, and walked quickly in the direction of the Elf Alliance. Come back. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 243. In the Magic City, Super-type gyms and Ghost-type gyms coexisted. While the elves with both attributes were very popular, the Elf Alliance naturally launched more professional elven services. The most famous ones are the Magic City Super Energy Tower and the Magic City Ghost Tower. These two service centers are under the names of two gyms respectively. They have very complete superpower induction recovery and ghost induction recovery functions, which are equivalent to a physical therapy center that uses superpowers and ghostly abilities to restore the elves' wounds. The Super Tower is more inclined to use superpowers to adjust physical wounds, but when it comes to mental issues, the Ghost Tower is more professional than the Super Tower, because ghosts know how to destroy better. Due to the outstanding physical therapy services, various physical therapy institutions have been established in the Magic City. The Elf Alliance has very strict requirements for the management of this. Only after obtaining qualification certification can private physical therapy business be allowed. The Ghost-type Elf Recovery Center in the Elf Alliance was formed in such an environment. Compared with ordinary recovery centers, the effect will be better. Thank you. Yang Yu slowly put the little dream monster into a physical therapy device, and with the help of the doctors in the recovery center, he came to the special recovery area for ghost monsters. This place is relatively spooky, but it is the best resting environment for ghost elves. It will take about half an hour to recover. In the meantime, sir, you can browse the elf journals here, or search for some Elf Alliance trainer content on the tablet service interface. Okay, thanks. Next door to the Ghost Elf Recovery Center is the Super Elf Recovery Center. In comparison, the atmosphere there is much more lively. Super Tower and Ghost Tower. Yang Yu quickly saw the famous physical therapy institution in the Magic City on the tablet service interface. Dadu, let's go to this place then. Yang Yu summoned Dede out. Dede was still holding his golden little basin in his arms. When his eyes fell on the place pointed by Yang Yu, he quickly became energetic and held the little basin in his arms. Head on. Yeah. He stared blankly at the picture in the Super Tower introduction, his eyes showing unprecedented seriousness. This is. Yang Yu looked in the direction where his eyes were staring blankly, and couldn't help but be surprised in his heart, because on the introduction page of the Super Tower, there appeared a conch cap that was not the Golden King of Slowness. Yeah. When the introduction page automatically scrolled past, I reached out and turned it back again. My pupils seemed to be able to see into the depths of the screen. Yeah. Dede tapped his hat lightly, and the golden conch hat immediately opened his eyes. Almost instantly he saw the ordinary golden hat on the head of King Dede that appeared on the screen. Super Tower, Yang Yu felt Dede's persistence at this moment, reached out from his pocket and took out the elf ball belonging to the Salted Fish King, and put it in Dudu's hand. Let's go there together. Yeah. Dada held the elf ball belonging to King Xianyu in his arms with all his strength. At the same time, he nodded firmly when he turned to look in the direction of Yang Yu. The Salted Fish King in the elf ball in Dede's arms seemed to feel Dede's mood and flickered faintly. Dede gently touched the elf ball in his arms, silently expressing his gratitude. The Super Tower is a physical therapy center under the name of a super-type gym. This Slow King is probably the gym leader's elf. However, the ace technicians in the physical therapy center are all, is it a stupid hippopotamus? As Yang Yu looked through the subsequent introduction to the Super Tower, he felt something strange in his mind as he looked at each photo. I seem to have seen this scene before somewhere. Rows of dumb hippos offering physiotherapy services. Isn't this just like the rows of hippo chefs in the catering industry in the Hippo Snack Street at that time, except that the Super Tower provides physical therapy services? Yeah. A picture began to appear in Yang Yu's mind. Is this a meeting between the giant of the medical industry and the giant of the catering industry? Old Man Zi, where is he? Shi Dingmo hurriedly returned to the headquarters of the Demon City Elf Alliance with a menacing look on his face. The members of the alliance did not even dare to say hello after seeing it, and they hurriedly avoided each other for fear of affecting Mr. Mo's schedule. Old Man Zi. Old Man Zi. Xiao Fang, where is old man Zi? Shi Dingmo grabbed the strong man and asked. Old Zi has gone to Jiaotong University. Xiao Fang felt his scalp numb. He had already moved away from him. Why was he still being captured by Mr. Mo? Jiaotong University. Shi Dingmo figured it out immediately. Xiao Fang, summon your Yongjira and take me to teleport there. Ah, Xiao Fang couldn't help but tremble. My Yongjira, he is still a child. What are you still doing? I'm borrowing it for a while. My Mengmengi has had nightmares and is still suffering from diarrhea. Do you want me to call him out for you to take a look at? Shi Dingmo stared at her big eyes. Hurry up, teleport me and take me to the college branch of the Elf Alliance, and then I will help you arrange for you to go to the Superpower Recovery Center at the college. Oh, right now. When Xiao Fang thought of Mr. Mo's terrifying Mengmenki with diarrhea, he was such a terrifying existence that even the entire Magic City Elf Alliance trembled. Teleport. When Yongjira and Mr. Mo left in front of Xiao Fang couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. Terrible. It's almost time, the little dream demon should be fine soon. Yang Yu looked at the Ghost Elf Recovery Center where several middle-aged people and a handful of students-looking guests were bringing back their elf, thinking that it was almost his turn. The dream demon is still sleeping, and its ghostly aura has become much stronger. Do you want to wait until it wakes up before taking it away, or do you want to take it away now? The caregiver here came and asked. Then just wait a little longer. Yang Yu was not in a hurry at this time. Hey, Meng Eclipse, where are you running to? Yang Yu couldn't help but turn around and found a bad old man chasing a chubby pink-green Meng Eclipse floating in the air. How could Meng Eclipse show such a strange color of green? So hungry. After Meng Eclipse had diarrhea, she felt extremely hungry. I really want to eat Meng. Where can I find delicious Meng? Meng Eclipse smelled the smell of dreams. Look. There is a little dream monster sleeping there, why not us? Yang Yu suddenly discovered that the pink-green Meng Eclipse seemed to have lost its pink color after taking a breath next to the little dream demon. It turned into purple-green. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Shao. Chapter 245. Yang Yu was completely confused. Dream Eater and Dream Eclipse, these pink, chubby and cute superpowered elves, have always been symbols of beauty in people's minds, but Yang Yu never thought. One day he will meet a purple-green Dream Eclipse here. How scary is the color purple-green? Yang Yu couldn't describe it. In short, when he saw this color, it was like a nightmare. A nightmare that appeared out of nowhere, making Yang Yu's scalp numb in reality. Shi Dingmo watched helplessly as the pink color on his dream eclipse turned purple in an instant, and the dream clouds exhaled before his breath began to turn darker. At the same time, his increasingly purple face seemed to be suppressed. It's like a full-fledged ultimate move. Why is there a sleeping dream demon here? Shi Dingmo felt like his head was about to explode. What kind of elf the dream monster was, could he not know? My mind is full of thinking about how to create fear to scare people or elves. Even when I sleep, there must be all kinds of weird dreams. Such an elf is simply the nightmare of Dream Eater and Dream Eclipse. What will happen after Meng changes to purple-green? Yang Yu's mind was a little down, and he couldn't think at all. This scene was really weird and sudden. Why don't you wake up your dream demon? Shi Dingmo's eyes were so anxious that people wanted to rush up to him. After Mengmensi ate the nightmare of the little dream monster, she had that terrifying diarrhea reaction. What a disaster. Hey, what are you doing? My little dream demon is still resting. Why do you wake it up? Yang Yu felt that this bad old man was very bad. It was obviously his dream that came up first. The dream demon slept soundly. This was obviously taking advantage of his little dream demon. "You brat, don't you know the seriousness of the matter?" Shi Dingmo said. "This young man is just a fool." "Old Mo, Mr. Mo, you are here, your dream." The doctors and caregivers from the Superpower Recovery Center next door came to receive Shi Dingmo in person. However, before their eyes, an unforgettable scene was frozen at this moment. Purple, purple green. The doctor's legs couldn't help but tremble. Originally, he wanted to show off when he heard that Mr. Mo came to the University Branch's Super Energy Recovery Center in person, but the nightmare reaction in Meng Meng Eclipse has gone beyond what they can treat. Didn't it say pink and green? Why did it turn purple-green? This is like everyone agreeing to fight an ordinary level boss, but everyone happily and easily gathered together. Just when they were about to start the group, the ordinary level boss inexplicably turned into a nightmare level boss in an instant. Who the hell can withstand it? "No, I'm going to pull it off." Shi Dingmo felt like his beard was about to be pulled off by himself. "Pull? What are you trying to pull?" At the moment before Yang Yu could react. "Ftwu. What the hell is this sound?" And it has its own sound effects. The doctor at the Superpower Recovery Center couldn't help his legs trembling, and immediately shouted loudly, "Block the recovery center quickly, Ming Mengzi is going to have diarrhea, don't let this nightmare energy spread outside." Meng Meng eclipsed and turned purple-green. There was such a record at the headquarters of the Magic City Elf Alliance. That time was also caused by Shi Dingmo's dream, Meng Meng Eclipse, who ate the nightmare of a cursed doll in the headquarters of the Magic City Elf Alliance. All trainers and elves affected by the nightmare energy of Meng Meng erosion, will have nightmares at night. Depending on the degree of influence of the nightmare energy, they may even have the same nightmare for several days in a row. It is said that that period was the most gloomy and dark period within the Magic City Elf Alliance, because at that time almost half of the staff in the entire Magic City Elf Alliance headquarters were on strike. If Zi Lao hadn't immediately urgently allocated the work of the branch, people come up, otherwise the work of the entire Elf Alliance in Magic City will be paralyzed. Moreover, during that period, the physical therapy centers in the Magic City Super Tower and Ghost Tower almost ran out of beds. Many Magic City Elf Alliance employees and their elves could only live in the corridors, or even in the corridors. Need to make a reservation. Now, Meng Meng Eclipse's purple-green, is about to explode again. No one understands what this means better than Shi Dingmo. There is no doubt that this is a nightmare explosive bag that is about to explode. Panic suddenly spread. The little dream monster opened its eyes in an instant. The moment it opened its eyes, it saw the purple-green dream eclipse in front of it. This dream demon seemed to be uncomfortable. Feeling the extremely enhanced fear energy, the little dream demon immediately set his sights on an old man. The fear in that old man was the richest. When Yang Yu saw the strange purple-green gas emitting from Meng Mengzi's body, he suddenly seemed to realize something. In short, no matter what, he must not be contaminated by this strange thing. Quick, come out quickly, this place must be sealed off." The doctor directly dragged Yang Yu's hand and ran outside. Yang Yu saw that the little dream demon had flown out, and when he was about to pick up the little dream demon, Dede also returned to the elf ball, so he ran very easily. Although I still don't understand what happened, the doctor in the white coat must have been right when he told me to run away. As for this bad old man, he must be here to cause trouble. A dream monster flies in for no reason, and wants to wake up the dream monster from his sleep. Isn't this unreasonable? The little dream demon rubbed her belly comfortably. This old man exuded a lot of fear, and the quality of fear was quite high. Such a meal was comparable to several meals in the Pearl Forest. I didn't expect to be able to eat it as soon as I woke up. The fear of feeling so good and so full. The little dream demon's eyes looked into the blocked space, and the sparkling eyes were full of gratitude. That one, the purple green men eclipse. It's simply too good for it. My little dream demon must make such a good friend who can create such high quality fear. Boy, let your incubus return to the elf ball. Shi Dingmo snorted coldly, looking at this little incubus with squinted eyes and a satisfied look. He felt angry in his heart. Yang Yu looked at this unreasonable old man and felt confused. Please, old man, can you take care of Meng Eclipse at home? I haven't realized what happened until now. Originally, I told Meng Eclipse you stayed well at the Ghost Recovery Center, and now it's all gone. Mr. Mo, you too, calm down, calm down. The doctor from the super department quickly wiped his sweat. He had just sent a message to the ghost department, asking them to block the security from inside the center. The passage left, and now I saw an old man and a young man confronting each other. My scalp is even numb. He has already received news from the ghost doctor. This young man is also a distinguished guest. If he really wants to talk about this matter, it seems that Li Zhen should be on the young man's side. Snort. Yang Yu and Shi Dingmo glared at each other. Little dream demon, let's go. Stay, teleport. Yang Yu directly stretched out his hand and took out the elf ball, summoning King Duty Da, who gently touched the small golden basin. The figure with Yang Yu flashed through a golden light and disappeared instantly. At this moment, Shi Dingmo was as dull as a sculpture. 150 monthly ticket plus soup completed. Currently I still owe 2 updates, a reward from the boss of the hall, Fen Yanzhu. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Xiangxiao. Chapter 246. He actually left like this? How dare he leave? Shi Dingmo suddenly felt a pain in his jaw. The moment he lowered his head, he looked at the few beards in his palm and couldn't help feeling another pain in his heart. It took a lot of effort for him to grow such a long beard. When his grandchildren pulled it out, it was almost all gone. Mr. Mo, Zi, Mr. Zi is here. The doctor on the side seemed to have found a backbone. His trembling voice was full of excitement. Old man Shi, what happened here again? Mei Jinzi was still wandering around in Jiaotong University, when suddenly the Elf Alliance College branch issued an emergency alarm, causing his right eyelid to beat crazily. Meng, you have a bad stomach again. When Shi Dingmo saw old man Zi coming, he subconsciously shrank his neck, like an old child who had done something wrong. Mei Jinzi? Are you so hungry again? What happened? The Elf Alliance High School branch actually evacuated the trainers in an emergency. I don't know, but it looks like something big happened. The recovery center was sealed off first. Could it be that some elf was seriously injured and had to be sealed off for treatment? At this time, Yang Yu walked out of the teleporting public space in Jiaotong University, with the expression on his face still not very good. Since there are many super-powered elves in Jiaotong University, in order to facilitate management, the management of Jiaotong University has set up public teleportation venues in several iconic buildings in the school, such as libraries, dormitories, teaching buildings, sports and basketball courts, etc. It will not affect other students just because they appear or disappear out of thin air. What a strange old man. Yang Yu curled his lips. He was not worried at all that the old man wanted to blackmail him. The surveillance at the recovery center was very strict. Besides, Yang Yu didn't do anything at all. It's that old man who can't even control his own elf. Yang Yu couldn't help but roll his eyes when he thought of the purple and green Meng eclipse. He temporarily used his mobile phone to go online to check some elf information about Meng eclipse. If such an elf eats sweet dreams, his body will change. It's pink and tender, like soft marshmallows, but if you eat it, you'll have a nightmare. Yang Yu couldn't help but feel nauseated. Mom sells batches. It turns out that I've had diarrhea, I've had diarrhea means, I'm going to have diarrhea. The little dream demon fiddled with Yang Yu's hair and pointed in the direction of the high school branch of the Elf Alliance, indicating that it still wanted to go there. Little dream demon's good friend Meng Meng Eclipse is still there. Yang Yu reorganized the process of what happened. He raised his head and saw the little guy with his big head lowered and swaying with melon seeds while laughing, and the corner of his mouth twitched. Meng Meng Eclipse suffered a terrible nightmare. This nightmare is obviously the dream monsters, right? Yang Yu finally figured out why the old man wanted his dream demon to wake up. Only. Humph. You deserve it. Who told Mengmensi to be so greedy? Speaking of which, our little dream demon suffered a loss. Mengmensi ate a small piece of his nightmare. It's good that he didn't ask the old man for food expenses. Got it? Little dream demon, let's go back to the dormitory to drink moo milk. Old man Shi, you have to take care of your Mengmenki. He's always been so greedy, and he's already fatter than a pig. Well, now that I'm done with this, I'm afraid I'm going to lose weight. You suffered the cursed doll's fate last time, why haven't you remembered the lesson this time? Majinza looked at the surveillance video, and what happened in it was clear, and she shook her head helplessly. Fortunately, thanks to the early closure of the doctors here, nothing serious happened. My dream Meng Meng Eclipse, it's so miserable. Old man She looked at the treatment room. The floating Meng Meng Eclipse was so big that it was comparable to a hot air balloon. Now he is as thin as a small refrigerator. He needs to eat. How many sweet dreams can it take to get it back? Mr. Mo, Mr. Zi, the two tower masters of the super tower and the ghost tower are here. The doctor's eyes were full of excitement. This was a blessing in disguise for him. He didn't expect to see two incredible towers. Figure. Hey, old man She, even the two gym leaders of the super gym and the ghost gym have to come and wipe your butt. Majinzi held her forehead, and the smelly old man in front of her looked like he had a shorter beard. It's simply too troublesome. Go, ask these two brats to help, it's their honor. Shi Dingmo curled his lips angrily and turned his head stubbornly. What is the background of this kid in the surveillance room? He actually dared to use an instant in front of me. Move, he actually dared to use teleportation to escape in front of me, Shi Dingmo. Of course, Majinza noticed Yang Yu. Looking at the smelly old man in front of her who looked like the best in the world in labor and management, she said with a smile, Old Shitu, I seem to have heard that Xiaofang from the headquarters has a Yongjira here. Shi Dingmo's expression changed, and then he blushed, but he still said harshly at this moment, if my Meng Xiu hadn't eaten up his stomach, he would have caught this kid back in a minute, and he actually dared to teleport and escape. Hey, you, do you have any news from Hangzhou? Is the person who activated the little magic card a student of your son-in-law? Majinza's face was quite strange, because he still had one more thing to ask. Talk to old man Shi. Don't mention Jin Xiaodong to me. If my dream hadn't eaten his nightmare at the beginning, how could I have been so embarrassed? Shi Dingmo got angry when he mentioned this. He had arrived at the edge of the Pearl Forest and teleported several times. Just being able to return to the headquarters of the Magic City Elf Alliance, in the end, I had to ride an armored bird. Is it easy for me to be determined? Your Meng Meng Eclipse also suffered from Jin Zedong's nightmare. Majinzi, a person who usually doesn't care about favors or humiliation, couldn't help it with a strange expression on her face. What a sin, what a sin. What a mess, old man Zi, why do you look so gloating? No, no, no. Absolutely not, absolutely not. Majinza looked at old Shi who was getting angry and shook his head repeatedly. Originally, he wanted to talk about Yang Yu, but he was going to let it go first. What's the background of this brat in the surveillance room? He's a dream demon, a teleporting idiot, a hippopotamus. It's so strange. Why is he holding a conch cap holding a giant tongue shell? Shi Dingmo calmed down at this time. although he has a bad temper, he still has a good mind. Elf with ghost and superpowers, if he is an elite student from Jiaotong University, Hatching Egg, or normal university, I should know him. Why don't I have any impression of him? But what Shi Dingmo didn't expect was that the old man Zi next to him suddenly burst out laughing. It's simply baffling. Old man Shi, do you really want to know? Mei Jinzi stroked his chin. His beard was a bit grey and not as lush as old man Shi. At this time, his mind had already imagined old man Shi's performance at the next moment. He even added his lines. If you fart quickly, let it go. The young man in the surveillance camera, his name is Yang Yu. Yang Yu. Is there such a person in Jiaotong University? No. Hatching eggs, no. Normal school, how can that be? Shi Dingmo murmured in his mouth, and suddenly, his face frowned and lost in thought. Long, with a livid face, like a donkey's face. He is the bastard brat you are looking for, the one who only knows how to enjoy with the little magic card, and the one who teleports away with the dream demon. He is, that little bastard Yang Yu, the student of that big bastard Jin Xiaodong. Oh. In the dormitory, Yang Yu rubbed his nose and turned on the heating air conditioner. Maybe that old bastard is thinking of me. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 247. Turn on the heating and air conditioning, good reviews for turning on the heating and air conditioning. Quack. Hong Kong walked in the door, and as soon as Koda Duck behind him entered the dormitory, he ran past Hong Kong excitedly, and when he came to the dormitory, he started to shake excitedly. Quack quack quack. Chunjong Plumbing Duck knows that Kodak Duck is very sensitive to temperature changes. Compared with the cold wind outside, it is obvious that the heating and air conditioning in the dormitory is more popular with Kodak Duck. Yang Yu, what happened at the Elf Alliance College branch? There's such a fuss. I originally wanted to go there later, but it turned out that it was temporarily closed. Hong Kong sat down, a little puzzled. I'm not too sure either. When Yang Yu came back, people were discussing the suspension of services of the Elf Alliance along the way. What could he do? He originally wanted to wait for the little dream monster to wake up naturally at the Elf Alliance Recovery Center, but who knew what would happen? A first-rate thing. Forget it, some big shot might have done it, so I won't go into details. How was the little dream demon's training today? The shadow clone in the water is still a bit difficult to deal with. Hong Kong sighed and waved. The Kodak Duck came over with a quack, quack, quack sound. Yang Yu rubbed his nose in embarrassment. The things caused by big shots that Hong Kong said were actually one of the protagonists, Yang Yu, and an unreasonable old bastard. I have successfully broken through to 4 shadows. I think there should be good results in tomorrow's elf showdown. Speaking of Dream Demon, Yang Yu showed a proud smile on his face, as if he was showing off his own daughter. I have learned something amazing and I want to let everyone in the world know about it, and I feel so comfortable. Awesome, little guy, Hong Kong admired him sincerely. The little dream demon who was drinking milk gurgling next to the moo milk glass bottle opened his small mouth and happily responded twice, and his big eyes narrowed, obviously very proud. Don't braid, you still have to work hard. Yang Yu touched the little guy's head and smiled fondly. Look at how arrogant you are, Hong Kong snorted and gave Yang Yu a look to see for himself. By the way, Yang Yu, did you just say that you wanted to let the little dream monster play in tomorrow's elf showdown? After laughing, Hong Kong recalled Yang Yu's words, frowned slightly, and couldn't help but ask. It's not like you don't know that when the Salty Fish King and the Dude King go up, they basically crush them? It's certainly not interesting to fight. Such an opportunity is of course reserved for the little dream monster to practice, Yang Yu said with a smile. Then what if the little dream demon loses? Hong Kong asked subconsciously, because in his eyes, Yang Yu, even when he was facing off against a female lecturer, he never lost a game. He was just a fool. King of fishes, across the entire game. Yang Yu was surprised. Hong Kong, as long as the little dream demon learns something from the competition, it will be victory. And Hong Kong, you don't think the little dream demon can't win, right? Ying 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 yang. This time, the little dream demon clenched her fist and waved it in front of Hong Kong, humming, "How dare you not believe me, the little dream demon. The little dream monster is invincible, so cute." Seeing the threat of Yang Yu and the little dream demon and the elf, Hong Kong said quickly, "How can you not believe it?" "Of course I believe it. If you don't believe it, ask KK Yat. What I said is not a problem at all." KK duck. The duck groaned for 2 seconds. Seeing the Kodak duck acting in such an unusual and thoughtful manner, Hong Kong couldn't help but smile with joy on his face. Could it be that he was about to get enlightened? I saw Kodak raising his hands with a serious expression, holding his head, suddenly tilted, and faintly uttered a word in his mouth. Kuei. Hong Kong. The closure of the Elf League College branch will not affect the training venues within Jiaotong University. With full fear energy and the supplement of moo milk, the little dream demon is extremely energetic. Fortunately, since the little dream demon was full of energy, Yang Yu took it to the training ground to continue training. Even at night, there are still many students in the training ground. You can see that Casey, who is training his telekinesis, uses his telekinesis to control the motion trajectories of objects. In actual combat, it can not only exert superpower effects, but also form on-field moves if used in conjunction with the field. Training reaction speed, and training lightning flash at the same time. Yang Yu saw a student using a fast-playing table tennis machine to attack the elf fireball mouse. The fireball mouse used various methods to avoid the table tennis balls. Attack to train lightning flash moves. Little dream demon, let's work hard too. Let's see how you perform tomorrow. There are no more automatic attack ping-pong machines, but Yang Yu can throw ping-pong balls by himself to achieve a similar effect. Little dream demon, pay attention. Now I will throw this ping-pong ball at you. Try to use the shadow clone to avoid the attack of this ball, and then come back to me. Yang Yu touched his hand gently the sphere path. The little dream demon nodded, "It is ready." Yang Yu thought about it carefully, and it seemed that this training alone was not enough. It only strengthened the dodge effect, but in terms of offense, the little dream demon's momentum problem also needed to be strengthened. After all, in Yang Yu's view, Shadow Clone is an offensive move in itself. The move cannot be too single and must be paired with other moves that are effective enough. At this moment, Yang Yu seemed to have made a very important decision in his heart. He raised his head and continued, "Little dream demon, when you come back to me, you must make a fierce expression to see if you can scare me. Use bluff. Also add fright. By the way, do you have a scared face?" The expression on the little dream demon's face was blank, as if she had not received Yang Yu's message for a while. But soon, after blinking, those crystal eyes seemed to be burning with blazing flames. It has never accepted such a, interestingly perverted request. "Aha," the master said he would scare himself to tears. Yang Yu saw the fighting spirit igniting in the little dream demon, and his heart suddenly thumped. Could he be a little too cruel? At the next moment, the little dream demon's shadow illusion split into 2, and the 2 split into 4. 4 divided into 8. Yang Yu. At this moment, all the fear in the little dream demon burst out, sparing no effort to make his shadow illusion more real and scary. Throw a ping-pong ball? Lost the ping-pong ball. Run quickly, why are you still standing there? Yang Yu swooshed and passed through a trainer next to him who was training the monkey monster's arm strength. What the hell? 8 dream demons with strange and excited eyes, flying towards him. Run quickly, monkey monster, why are you standing there in a daze? Behind Yang Yu, there was a group of panicked people and a monkey monster. When they passed through another trainer's training ground again, the team became 3 people. There are also 2 elves. When they ran to the 4th trainer's field, the BB bird was about to take action, but at the moment when the BB bird was about to take action, the little dream monsters went from 8 to 16 in an instant. BB bird? The dream demons flying all over the sky seemed to have summoned an entire army of ghosts. Master, don't run away, I'm here to scare you into tears. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 249. Brother, why are we running? I don't know either. The people in front have all run away. It's right for us to follow, right? But when will this happen? How do I know? Why do so many weird monsters appear? Can you tell me why? Why did Lao Bang punch him down? Why not only did the monsters not disappear, but they were split into 2? The crowd was silent for a while. It turns out that the reason why the monsters changed so much is because you punched them. At this time, the training ground is very likely to explode. Because all the trainers discovered an incredible situation. For some reason, the number of these dream monsters not only did not decrease because of their elf moves, but after one of them was eliminated, it became more and more. Yang Yu looked at the large group of little dream monsters in the sky behind him. He didn't know why, but he was excited and a little panicked. What is exciting is that the little dream demon can now control the shadow clone so unbelievably, as if in such a moment, he has completely understood it. But if Yang Yu hadn't told the little dream demon to scare him, the little dream demon might have had difficulty even casting 8 shadow clones. When he thought of this, Yang Yu felt a little blocked for some reason. Don't know whether to cry or laugh. Anyway, if nothing else, I can't just let myself be scared. The entire training ground was filled with the sound of, which was a nightmare for the trainers running desperately below. What an annoying whimper. Jajaja. The ghost elves scattered on the Jiaotong University campus felt a kind of friendly call almost at the same time, as if summoning them, do you want to, let's scare people together. This simply directly aroused the instinct of the ghost elf. Jajaja. Gaisai, where are you going? Almost at the same time, the ghost-type elves who sensed the call of the dream demon on the Jiaotong University campus quickly gathered in the direction of the training ground. Thank you both for your hard work. Mei Jinzi expressed her gratitude to the 2 super gym and ghost gym leaders in front of her. Old Zi, old Mo, I'm being serious. It's just that Meng eclipse of old Mo. The ghost gym leader's voice was a little thin. Under the black cloak, his lips pursed slightly, and he let out a sweet smile that couldn't help but laugh. It will take a long time to get back to the original state. The leader of the super gymnasium suppressed a smile. After all, Meng Eclipse's whole body shrunk an unknown number of times. I'm afraid it was only once in the All-Elf Alliance, but now it has happened twice, and both times happened in Mo. The old one is on. In the entire history of the Elf Alliance, it can be regarded as a bizarre event. Greedy talk brings trouble. Laugh, laugh, hey, Mengmensi, look at how you look. Shi Dingmo looked at Mengmensi, who had basically recovered to health. The corners of his mouth couldn't help but twitch. He was so fat and fat. Now, like a pink sausage, it doesn't even have any fattening meat. Ha 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 ha. Just when everyone was laughing, the face of the ghost gym leader under the black cloak changed slightly. Even though his cold face was covered, he could still feel that something was wrong with the atmosphere. What's wrong, Netherworld? At this time, 5 ghost-type elves suddenly appeared next to the ghost-type gym leader. The temperature that was rising within the Elf Alliance College branch suddenly dropped to freezing point. Wandering Night Spirit, Dark Night Demon Spirit, Jengar, Crystal Lamp Spirit, and Snow Witch, do you feel it? The 5 ghost-type elves nodded at the same time. What happened? Shi Dingmo, who had lost his temper, couldn't help but ask. Ghost Tide. Go to Jiaotong University. I saw the ghost-type gym leader in front of me flashing with black light, and all the ghost-type elves around him disappeared into the high school branch of the Elf Alliance at the same time. Ghost Tide, how big is the Ghost Tide? Mr. Zi, Mr. Mo, let's go there first. The superpower gym leader also flashed away and disappeared into the high school branch of the Elf Alliance. Demon Fire Red Fox, let's go too. You. As the 2 gym leaders in front of him teleported away after a disagreement, Shi Dingmo was about to say something, but even Old Man Zi teleported away. Shi Dingmo blinked. You are alone, why don't you take me with you? Look at our big pink sausage. Does it look like it can teleport normally? Meng Meng Eclipse, who should have had a figure like a chubby pink pig, floated over faintly at this moment, looking at Old Man Shi pitifully with his 2 eyes. Shi Dingmo blew his nose and stared at the big pink sausage with an innocent face in front of him. Is this really reliable? It doesn't even look reliable. Normal teleportation can use superpowers to determine the position after teleportation, but now Meng Meng Eclipse looks like this. Forget it, let me teleport this old bone. That's all we can do. Those 2 young gym leaders were rough and ran so fast, even Old Man Zi ran away by himself. Gilug gilug gilug. Meng Meng Eclipse's stomach started to grow hungry. No. There's nothing left to eat. Shi Dingmo almost jumped on the spot in anger. It's been so long, and he's still thinking about eating. Who? Meng Meng Eclipse snorted aggrievedly. Let's go, let's get to the place first and then I'll feed you some energy cubes. Shi Dingmo touched Meng Meng Eclipse helplessly. Who said Meng Meng Eclipse was his own? Ho! Meng Meng Eclipse's eyes lit up and he moved instantly. Shi Dingmo's figure also flashed away and disappeared into the high school branch of the Elf Alliance. Hey, where's Mr. Zi and Mr. Mo? Didn't he follow you? The superpower gym leader looked behind him in confusion. According to Mr. Mo's strength, it shouldn't be too easy to find the location where they teleported. Majinza looked forward and back, blinking awkwardly. It seems like Old Man Shi's dream eclipse. The super gym leader took a breath of air. This Meng Meng Eclipse, who has just recovered from a weak state, can't locate our position. I'll go back and bring him over. In my hurry, I forgot that Old Man Shi's dream had just returned to normal. Majinza slapped her head and had to go back quickly. The next second, when Majinza returned to the high school branch of the Elf Alliance, where were the figures of Old Man Shi and Meng Mensi? It's over, it's over. With Old Man Shi's stubborn temper, Meng Meng Eclipse's teleportation can't be accurately positioned. Where will it teleport to? Majinza's face changed. Where is this? Shi Dingmo looked at the dark scene in front of him in bewilderment. There was neither Old Man Zi nor the 2 boys from the gym. Where did you move so quickly? Run, run quickly. Vaguely, there seemed to be vibrating footsteps coming from the front. Meng Meng Eclipse behind Shi Dingmo, couldn't help being shocked. Because in front of their eyes, the sky is filled with ghost elves, etc. This dream monster in the sky looks a bit familiar. I seem to have seen it somewhere. Also, why do the group of young people running closer and closer in panic, especially the young man running at the front, why do they look so familiar? Little bastard. Yang Yu was shocked. Why did a figure suddenly appear in front of him, and he looked so familiar? So strange, is the elf behind the old bastard some new breed? Big pink sausage? Flying elf? Yang Yu's brows jumped when he thought of the ghost elves behind him who had joined inexplicably. Old bastard, stop looking and run. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Jiang Xiao. Chapter 250. Principal, a ghost title incident occurred in the school. It is small in scale. The Ghost Energy Monitoring and Display Center said that the tidal energy is of moderate size and is very suitable for the ability upgrade of the ghost elves. Okay, I understand. I'll be over there right now. Who is the leader of the ghost tide? Is it Zhang Hui's ghost stone or Wang Kai's whose cursed doll? A steady voice came from the other end of the phone, but it could still be heard from it. Heard some joy. Principal, there is a large group of dream monsters appearing in the ghost tide here at the school. There must be several hundred of them, right? Bang. The sound of a water glass breaking came from the other end of the phone. Principal, Principal. Can you hear me, Principal? Is this a ghost tide? Shi Dingmo has lived a long time and knows a lot about such scenes, but he still has some confusion on his face. How could there be such a dream monster flying in the sky? How can so much ghost power organize such tidal energy? Ho ho ho. A big pink sausage trembling all over was trembling next to Shi Dingmo. In front of it, there is a ghostly sky, a pair of eyes full of evil power, and the night is so dark. In such a scene, there is one thing that I don't know whether to talk about or not. It has seen it in a dream. The little dream demon felt more and more fear in the crowd below, and absorbed more and more energy. Moreover, with the blessing of these other ghost-type elves around him, the number of shadow clones created using fear energy, it's so scary. The little dream demon's strange red eyes flashed slightly, and the smile on the corner of the mouth became even sweeter. That wasn't Meng Meng Eclipse, that was the little dream demon's good partner. Do you want to play together? I have lost all my face to you. Shi Dingmo certainly knows that this ghost tide is of great benefit to the ghost elves, especially in such a situation where the power is extremely controllable. There are only benefits and no disadvantages. If it makes these young students below scared, it counts. As for the downside, wouldn't it be good to exercise more? No matter who wants to destroy the ghost tide, Shi Dingmo is the first to not allow it. This is definitely an excellent improvement in strength for the students of Jiaotong University who have ghost elves. What a tidal wave of ghosts are coming to their door. However, what Shi Dingmo is most angry about right now is the big pink sausage next to him, Mengmensi. After all, you also have a super elf with close to gym level strength. You can't just soak it in and cripple yourself. Ho ho ho. What are you still looking at? Let's run together. Shi Dingmo felt like he was really upset. He, an old man who was nearly 70 years old, would actually encounter such a thing. Especially the one next to me, Mengmenki, who is neither attractive nor useful at the moment, eats and sleeps all day long, and eats even more than King Yan Wu. Meng Eclipse hugged herself aggrievedly, who was as thin as a long sausage. She had gained weight back then, but now, woo, she is about to become the laughing stock of Meng Eclipse world, crying ching ching. Shi Dingmo had a headache. He couldn't summon his other elves, otherwise the powerful aura would completely destroy the atmosphere of the ghost tide. Not to mention, if he did this, let alone the principal of Jiaotong University come to the door, even he himself can't spare himself. This world belongs to young people after all. He felt both hatred and pity for those young people who indulged themselves in red light and green wine after they had some strength. He hoped that they could wake up to the fact that this world ultimately needs its own strong trainer's strength. After seeing many storms, there were quite a few talented trainers who once had little magic cards in their hands. Shi Dingmo personally took them back one by one from those people. That kind of expectation, the expectation that with the convenience of resources, they could go further, but in the end, bit by bit, the expectation finally dissipated and disappeared, just like a flash in the pen. You little bastard, you're great. Judging from the little dream monsters all over the sky, it is obvious that this little bastard named Yang Yu is very good at training little elves. It is impossible to guess how he was trained to be able to use such incredible shadow clone moves. Shi Dingmo's recognition of Yang Yu in his heart actually increased. Old bastard, you can run so well, it seems you have practiced. Yang Yu was completely shocked. Seeing the old man in front of him who was running at the same pace as him, even faster than him, countless sheep were racing through his mind. He didn't realize it at all. This old man with such a bad temper and unreasonable temper had something to do with running. He couldn't have practiced it when he was chasing others to blackmail, right? Shi Dingmo almost spat out a mouthful of old blood after hearing this. Is it easy for him? He is so old and still has to run here. If it weren't for this unreliable Mengmenki, how could he be so embarrassed? The good feeling that just arose disappeared in an instant without a trace. At this time, Yang Yu saw the long sausage flying desperately in the sky next to the old bastard with his eyes closed, and he was stunned. Old bastard, what kind of elf are you? You actually look like a sausage. Little bastard, can you shut up and talk properly? If it weren't for your dream monster, would my dream be like this? Speaking of this, Shi Dingmo's eyes widened again. Meng eclipse, Yang Yu was more frightened than seeing a ghost. Shouldn't Meng eclipse be as fat as a pink pig? With the faint light, Yang Yu was sure that he was not blind. Damn it! It's really a dream eclipse. Did Meng eclipse go to the sausage processing factory to be processed into a big pink sausage? Zi Lao, is that Mo Lao? The super energy gym leader suddenly narrowed his eyes and pointed in a certain direction in front of him as if he was stunned. Mei Jinzi immediately summoned the breathing plate demon and used a light mirror to gather some weak lights, so as not to affect the ghost tide, but also to see clearly the situation ahead. The one running in the front in a panic, isn't it old man Shi? Wait, Mei Jinzi's eyes suddenly froze. Why did old man Shi and that boy Yang Yu end up together? Mei Jinzi felt that her old mind was a little less bright, so she nodded dully. Old Zi, I didn't expect old Mo to be so physically strong. His running speed is not inferior to that of young people. Mei Jinzi thought silently in her heart, you don't know that when old man Shi was still young, when he learned that Jin Xiaodong beat and cried his daughter in college, the scene of the chase. At this moment, a faint light appeared around the ghost gym leader. Ghost tide, the final movement is almost here. I owe 2 for monthly tickets, 1 for recommended tickets, 2 for rewards, I only owe 5 updates.